friends and relatives. Welcome back to another episode of The Glorious Mess, where we continue to be just fucking downright dirty. I just felt like with the hat and the masculine vibe, that felt
downright dirty.
We're downright
dirty.
I don't know where that came from.
I love it though.
But that makes me think, what is the most masculine thing you've ever done in your life?
That's a good question.
Right?
I think be good at math.
Oh, is that? Okay.
It's not, okay, no. Maybe I'll be serious. But that was like a cliche. But like, what have I done? I don't know. I'm not super girly, but like, I liked to like catch frogs and like worms and stuff. Like,
Okay,
as a
getting down
kid.
in the dirt.
yeah.
Isn't that funny that you're like, that can't be feminine though?
Right?
Whatever, don't touch
Exactly,
frogs.
yeah.
What's the most masculine thing I've ever done? My God. Topped? No.
Did you say
No, I think what's the most masculine thing I've ever done? Oh my God, I did like floor laying. My brother does like contract flooring, and so like I like refloored and put like floors.
You did like construction.
Construction. There's the word. I was like, what's that thing called?
I've
Flooring.
also like used a drill. I like using a drill.
Okay, that's hot.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
hot.
It is, right? I kind of like it.
And you know what else is hot?
What?
Our jar.
It is
Guys,
so hot. Okay,
pure
can I go
topics.
first?
Okay, yes. Yeah.
I'll go first.
He was gonna be patriarchal and say ladies first.
Okay.
Wait, I want to. Kate, let's try it different this time. I want you to read that, and then I'm gonna go pick mine.
This one says squirrels.
That's it.
That's it. We got an easy one.
Okay. Why just like rabbits or something?
But honestly, can we please talk about animals?
Yeah, it just says squirrels. That's real.
Squirrels. Yeah.
Do you know? Did
Yes.
you put that in?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I got a paragraph
Okay, good.
to balance out squirrels. Okay. Let's see.
That's a real paragraph.
Convenience, and it's not a sin. We should work it into planning. It's not honorable to like being inconvenienced 100% of the time. Like, I don't take the bus because the route and where I live is so convoluted to literally go straight across on St. Joseph. This is real. This is the most Karen thing I've ever read in my life.
No, wait.
But I vaguely, this is a text message. I think you took a text and copy pasted
No,
it.
I think I actually just wrote it out. But the way that these connect. Okay, do you remember when we were at Park Laurier? We were watching the squirrels.
Yes.
That's why I wrote it there, because we were just like having fun watching the squirrels. Like,
Okay.
yeah, and then it's like, okay, so the reason I wrote that was because I think in politics, convenience gets like demonized in a way that it actually doesn't need to be. So like, let's say, I mean, there's a lot of like cycling culture happening in Montreal, which I am happy about.
Mm-hmm.
But also like, I think that we don't need to demonize other things. And I think also like the idea of like, I'm sorry, but driving for me is so much faster. It takes me 10 minutes to get to work in the morning, which allows me to sleep, and then 10 minutes to get home, which allows me to work out and not be overly stressed.
In Montreal? Where do you drive?
It's
That's
so
10 minutes. Okay.
Literally, my schools are so close to
Okay,
where
okay.
I live. I
Yeah.
got lucky.
Yeah.
But if I took the bus, because even if it's close, just the way it works to get where I would need to go would take half an hour.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I also have to carry stuff, whatever. But like, I think it's just the idea of like expecting people to not care about their convenience is a little bit off-putting, especially when it's like, if you live downtown, you're like, you can just cycle to work. But there are people who just can't.
Like abilities, like physical
right,
abilities.
exactly.
And even just like discomfort. And I think this is something like I have a confession. I shop a lot on Amazon. I thought this is a safe space to come out as an Amazon subscriber. But also, and I use Uber. And so it's like holding two truths at once. And I have a friend who's super principled and like does not agree with like the use of these things. And I'm like, that is great that it works for you. the truth is, like, I'm sign on to do a little bit too much. We know that. And in my too muchness, I actually find these things really helpful to just take up a little less space. And that convenience actually makes the good work I do really possible.
Well, that's it. And I mean, I don't think it is actually bad to like convenience because we actually like our time, you know? And I'm not saying that, like, we also do have to encounter some inconvenience in life. That happens, you know? Yeah. But I think when you're talking about a day-to-day thing, like your commute time, no matter how you're doing that commute, it's fair to not want to spend 2.5 to 3 hours commuting during your day, because those are hours you might need to spend with your family or want to, you know?
Yeah.
I just kind of think that when we're talking about making plans in a city to improve things like transit, I think that it's actually a good idea to keep convenience in mind. You know, instead of being like using a car is bad for the environment, you should take the bus. You know, like okay, yes, you know.
But like the single mom with 3 kids, who has to work to pay for bills, might want to drive for convenience because she has to.
Well, exactly, and it's not for her convenience. It's for her to do the things she needs to do in her life. And I kind of think that working convenience into promoting things actually is a good idea too. Like, and understanding that not everything is convenient for everybody, and sometimes that's reasonable. You know, like, I think.
Oh, or I was saying too, I think sometimes what pisses me off is it's like the individualist thought of like, that's your problem.
Exactly.
And I'm like, yeah, like that, but you can't put the whole system. I mean, I'm not solely going to be responsible for changing all of this. I play a part in a broader story of a people, of humanity. I hope someone talks about me being Guy on Phone in the Jonas Brothers Christmas movie, now streaming on Disney Plus. This is an ad, but I don't know.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out now. No, but and even the Disney is a problematic.
Like, we can't get through our day without problematic corporations, you know. And yes, it's nice. Like, of course, I'm also not saying boycotting is bad. Like, we have to do everything we can, but I think that there is.
Messy boycotting. Sorry, I'm cutting up all your thoughts.
No, go for it. I want you to talk about messy boycotting.
It's because I'm in this outfit. I'm mansplaining you.
Yeah, exactly.
But like boycott, like I think it's one of the things I'm frustrated with, like liberals, I mean, not that the liberals currently are even actually liberal in theory, but Democrats, anyone who's boycotting, it's like we don't spend enough time collectively coming together. So it's like, okay, everyone, we hate this bad thing that's happened, so we're boycotting this tomorrow for 12 hours. But like, you didn't communicate it. You didn't co-create the solution. You just kind of built an IG post and did it. And then people are like, oh, do you remember the black squares?
Yes.
Let's talk about the black squares. Like, the black squares, for those of you who don't know, the black squares on Instagram were like, I don't know where actually it came from.
I don't remember what it was for.
But it was George Floyd. Was it right around? Yeah.
Matter?
Black Lives Matter. Okay. So people were saying that you put the black square on your Instagram profile to show that you are in support of Black Lives Mattering and the really terrible and tragic death of George Floyd. And then I think later on it came out that it was like people would post these black squares, and then that was the end of it.
Right. And there was nothing else.
There's nothing more. And then also the thing that I always critiqued about the black square, and I don't think I ever reposted a black square, was I was like, okay, but the black square and linking to the Black Lives Matter Instagram, linking to a GoFundMe would make sense. These are an action and something that then goes back to the community that's being impacted.
Or I would even say the black square and going and reading a book. Or like spending some time thinking
supporting
about
black
something.
artists.
Yeah. Questioning behavior that you've had. Because that's what it made me do. I remember like having a conversation outside of a bar with a black girl. And it was around the time that they were advocating there was a movement to advocate for police to get out of the like the Pride Parade in Toronto. And I was like, but wait, like we've made so much progress. And like, I just remember in this moment, I forget what I said, I forget what exactly she said, but I do remember kind of being like, I'm like, I picked up on something here, you know, and like in that conversation, it didn't get messy, but then I just kind of remember when the Black Lives Matter movement got stronger, I like went back to that. I was like, that was embarrassing for me, a little, you know, and like, I remember that.
Because you're like, did you say, not all cops are bad cops?
Like,
but that's the thing. Like, there are perceptions you have about an entity that you don't even know. Like,
Right.
we were taught in elementary school, like, the police came to school and they were this friendly force. Like, I didn't have a lot of police involvement till like my 20s. And then I started to really uncover. But also because I'm racially white, like, I am going to have a natural bias towards having better experiences with them because of how I'm perceived. So, but I started to really uncover like this system is the problem. And that's why I sometimes I do get pissed off about disorganized resistance.
Right.
And
I think that's fair.
Is that a colonial? Like, I'm like,
I think that's
is it
fair.
my conditioning? Like, because you have these like really powerful, like, you ever heard of like whisper networks?
Yeah.
Yeah, like in really oppressed states, how people still continue to provide essential resources to one another. It's beautiful and it's brilliant, and it's not talked about intentionally because it's not safe to.
Right, exactly.
And yet it exists.
Yes.
And it keeps communities thriving. It keeps communities alive amongst something really oppressive and destructive happening. And so these whisper networks are everywhere, and we don't talk about it. And so, but what's the most at the core of their advocacy is one thing, I think, which is relationship to each other.
And trust. And also like just
trust.
It's safety. Often those are around safety.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think going back to the sort of
squirrels.
The squirrel and also just like the individualism that you were kind of talking about, and like convenience and all this stuff. Like, I understand your frustration for sure when it comes to like organizing that's messy. That's part of whatever, like, and it can be frustrating, but I'm happy people are doing it, and maybe some things take, like, I don't know, that's a lot of work and people do.
And sorry, there's organizers who I'm like, it's the messy ones who it's not really clear, and then they don't try to, and then if you don't, then I hate you for not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get
Instead
what
of
you're
bringing
saying.
people alongside, because collective change happens when we do it together and we're walking alongside one another.
Exactly.
And that's where those things I'm like, ugh, you're missing it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
It's a dilemma.
And I think going back to convenience too, it's the same idea of like putting the responsibility of climate change on individuals and being like, okay, no more plastic bags. Like, okay, great. But also like, is this actually helping? Like, how much of a difference is this making? I have 50 cloth bags at home.
Yeah.
Straws. Okay, great. Like, yes, but is this like, I mean, yeah, I do have a personal responsibility, but does it equate to the responsibility of the people who are causing the most damage? Like, and also, do we need to be lecturing people about, like, there's a morality piece that I don't like, and I'm talking about liberals, politicians who do this.
The real one.
Yeah, and like, when there's a moral kind of attitude about like cycling to work, and I'm like, okay, but who is doing this? Is a 40-year-old white man? Yeah,
maybe
mainly
50 or 60.
Maybe 50 or 60. But like, also, how many stops do you have to make on your way? Like, I get it, it is good, but I kind of feel like equating that with like, oh, well, what, you can't be inconvenienced and, like, spend 10 minutes doing, this attitude that can come along with things like that, I don't appreciate. And I think it's just a demonization of convenience that sometimes I'm like, yeah, like, I get it. We have to be reasonable and,
just
we're
went to work, Carla.
Just, I mean, yeah, I'm...
Just, what did Kim Kardashian
all
say?
my 20 bags and stuff and my spine that's...
Don't buy it.
No. But I think it's just through thinking about a lot of things, there are times this specific example came up because sometimes I'm like, I actually would love to take the bus from my place straight down St. Joseph to like the end of it, to like Park Avenue. And then when I look at how I need to do that, look, it's not the most inconvenient thing in the world. Yeah. But I'm like, if I could do that, I would be doing it all the time. Yeah. But I have to actually get on a bus, get off, and then wait for another bus to go in a straight line. Yeah. And I'm like, can we fix that?
Can we fix it?
Can we change that?
Are you running for council? No. You just missed the election. Change it, and this is my platform. I need to get to work. But I think too, also, like, there's other things that contribute to why you make this choice, convenience, right? That maybe on the surface, if I look at you, it's like, oh no, you should be able to cycle, right? But there are physical things that you deal with and pain that you manage, and so there's not, again, we talk about like invisible
disabilities.
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
Like, so if we can never look at someone. I think I wrote a thread about this on
a thread.
Thread?
A thread.
Threads?
Oh, sorry, I heard thread.
A thread. I wrote a thread. I
about this?
threatened someone about this. No, that's something I would do at work though. But no, a thread. It's like Twitter, but
I
the
know
Facebook one. Okay,
the Instagram one.
The Instagram one. Thank you. Yeah. So I wrote a thread about. Oh my gosh! Now I've lost it completely.
About invisible disabilities.
I just wrote, you can never make an assumption about another person if you don't have a conversation with them.
Right.
And I remember actually one of my friends, one of my friends was like, well, I think this is a little bit short-sighted and narrow-minded. And I was like, okay, but are you going to explain why? And even he in that moment didn't explain why. And I'm like, explain why. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Like what I'm saying is I don't like, of course, I can say that like there's a systemic factor involved in this that is real. But when you look at like, like micro, meso, macro, like it's like there are these, I think it's like an ecological perspective of things. So it's like these three things are all interconnected and interrelated, and it's person in environment, and all of this coexists, and then we construct meaning at an individual level. And so you have to talk to a person to understand them, and you'll never know what's fully going on without a relationship. So I reject anyone who's quick to be like, oh, that's convenience and you're the problem.
Right. Well, especially if you're talking to an individual about an individual, because like even if you're looking at like stats and like let's say 30% of Canadians like will experience whatever thing, right? Okay, sure. That's a general statistic, and then you can't actually take 100 people and then look at those people and be like, it's going to be you who experiences that thing. So like you actually, if you use statistics like responsibly, then you're actually not supposed to take a general statistic and then apply it to an individual in front of you per se, like. And it's like what you're saying about like you have the system, and you have like the meso, and then you've got like the micro, and in the micro I kind of feel like it's like a person in the situation in the moment for whatever reason makes a choice, and the reasons for doing it, you can't necessarily take the macro thing and apply it to the individual and to that specific situation.
And you have to, and so like I guess maybe if it was like micro, meso, macro. Micro is like me, individual. Meso is like community, my close relationships, and the community with which I maybe am geographically located. Macro is like the systems that guide all of it. But it's like that's what I think happens a lot, and I think it's why like. And maybe this is an assumption, but like critical race theory is such a valuable theory to apply to understanding how we got here. And it actually, not only for people of color, but for all people, helps re-empower and re-engage. But I think a lot of people saw critical race theory, even the idea of white privilege, right? Like these are theories when we look at systems are really helpful. But when we take it to individual levels, I think it misses the opportunity to really walk alongside each other to what we're hoping to create. Right.
And I think as well, like when it comes to like what you were saying about like white privilege and just how people also just they jump to these conclusions about what it means. Like, oh, I wasn't handed everything in my life. And it's like, you just like take a second.
And just breathe.
And just, breathe, first of all.
Yeah.
Because also sometimes it just means things that you don't have to experience.
Because of the color of your skin.
Yeah. Like I'm sorry, but like uncles, but like you didn't go outside on any day in your life and experience, and just to make it very clear, explicitly being called certain things,
and that's and when you look at like implicit bias of like doctors, right? You saw people who were racialized by white doctors more often for the same, I think they were diagnosed with some sort of pain, something related to pain. Like 81%, I think, of the time, it was like they gave higher payments to those who looked visibly like the doctor. Yeah,
and I think there was also just like a myth, like just basically wrong information too, that Black people don't experience pain.
Yeah.
as strongly.
Yeah.
Like that's just
a full myth.
that's just a lie.
Yeah.
That's just not true.
And so that's why I say like these types of ways of like we have to kind of get a little more detailed and spend a little bit more time with the thing. But like often when you're on social media land and you're a netizen, have we talked about netizens yet?
No.
Netizens. I'm writing an essay on it right
word.
now, but netizens is like these people who basically find their citizenship through the internet, as in like their whole identity is shaped by their experiences and relationships to the internet world. So they physically might still live and exist in reality or in life, but how they participate and show up in the world is like predominantly guided by their
online
internetness. Yeah, netizens.
Wow, that sounds
really
super interesting.
Yeah,
I
coming
like
soon
that.
to the Glorious Mans. I'm gonna write it.
Okay.
I've got all the like research, but I'm
So-
still carving through.
Where would squirrels fit into the world of netizens?
Because what were we talking about? We went to
Park Laurier.
Oh, Laurier, yeah.
And we were watching the squirrels. It was squirrels, and it was going into the garbage and getting things and popping out. And there was a dog. There was something. We were just watching the animals, and it was very joyful, honestly.
Well, it was like I feel like it's something along the lines of like collecting scrap, like or maybe it was about like resourcefulness. Did we come into the economy a bit of it? Like
We probably went somewhere.
we went somewhere, and this is completely sober. Like I think it's wild when I think of where we went about these fucking squirrels, and there was nothing but candy, and it was low sugar candy. And some apples and berries. That's what we were eating.
Those were our snacks.
Those are our snacks. Sorry. Yeah. Those were the things
Yes.
we were consuming.
true.
Unless you drugged them, you didn't tell me.
No.
Which is always my biggest paranoia. So much drugs.
true,
Yeah. But no, you didn't drug me. I'm really getting better at like just eating things.
Okay, that's
like
good.
that chocolate.
That's good. Yeah. And it came in this package.
It's settling this paranoid thought that I've created. But anyway, I think in that moment it was like the squirrel was just like living its life and doing what it needed to do.
Yeah. And
to
it
get
was
the garbage.
And it was like, I think also we were just laughing about the way it would pop out of the garbage can with a thing, with an item. Or was it not finding anything?
He did find something, and he was just nibbling on the end.
Yeah, but I feel like there was like, I think the garbage can was like empty or something for a while because we were watching it come up with nothing. And we were just really locked in on it and having a lot of fun, honestly.
And now when I'm like reflecting on it too, I'm thinking about like, you know, when you think about wasting food, for example, right? It's like when you look at like a squirrel's natural habitat being destroyed by urbanization, wasting food becomes the source of sustenance for this animal.
Right.
And then is it the healthiest food for that animal? No.
But also, is it convenient?
Oh,
It's so convenient. And should we blame the squirrel for eating from the garbage can? Because are we going to call it lazy?
I think in squirrel land, like they're probably fighting just the same. Actually, no. I think
they're thriving.
The beauty of animals is like you're just living. You're figuring out like I'm living here. I'm here. I'm gonna figure out. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go find food.
And there it is.
And that's. I think sometimes I was. Wow, I'm gonna talk about Wicked too much, but like, I just love like the animals being alive. Like I was thinking, I'm like, was there a time where the animals could talk? Or like, I don't know, or we just like coexisted in this really relational way with them.
Yeah.
It had to have existed.
Well, I think we do it now. I think being at the park and even watching it and having joy and like obviously understanding the motivations of the animal, even though we're anthropomorphizing the animal, but like I think we have a fair understanding that the squirrel's looking for food and we can relate to whatever. And it's just kind of like
we can safely
we do coexist, and I think it is also fun for us to play with watching animals or play with animals in certain ways. Obviously not dangerous ones, but like and obviously not.
And why are those ones dangerous though? Is it because they're innately dangerous or because they're in survival mode?
Well, I think that's the same thing for a polar bear.
No, but do you think, but like everything we understand about a dangerous animal is taught to us. So I'm like, was this animal in its origin form?
Sure.
Was it as aggressive?
I feel like, yeah. I mean, maybe not so, like, I think, yeah. But also, like, for us, we don't have many natural predators for various reasons. But, like, I
radical
think...
right.
But...
Trump is a predator.
Like, in so many ways, too.
Our mics get cut off. He's listening to.
So I think like yeah, it's also environmental. If a grizzly bear is hungry because it has no food, it will attack us. If it's not hungry, it won't. But I do think there are animals who are more dangerous than others innately, for sure. Like, I'm not really that scared of, like, a squirrel unless it has rabies, maybe. But, like, or like a duck.
Ducks can be fucking aggressive.
They can be.
Like the ones, because just growing up in Calgary, like people would always feed these ducks by the Bow River. And so like they're like, I want more bread, bitch.
And they'll come.
And they'll come. But again, we created that. Those conditions for that relationship. Exactly. But yeah, what does...
But I don't think a duck would kill me.
You say that now, but we don't fucking know. Someone's gonna take this idea and go make a horror movie. Ducks, if you do, please send us 5% of the commission. But like
10.
If 10 to 20. 10, yeah. But like what would happen? Wait, sorry, last night. If Sharknado can make 7 movies, a duck attacking people can absolutely thrive. I agree. But if we go back to a world where, like, how do we get sovereignty in our existence? If animals don't get sovereignty, if plants and trees, if any living thing doesn't get its sovereignty, its right to live and exist in a way that is reciprocal and meets what their basic needs, like nobody can. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's weird to say that, but I'm actually, I really don't think there's a full way to fully realize it unless all of these things get it back.
Yeah, and I know what you mean. I think I know what you're saying. And I think that, like, it's the same idea as, like, nobody's free until all of us are free when we say 100%. And then just expand that to everything on the planet and squirrels included.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, but that moment where we just sat in a park and watched a squirrel, I think becomes a space where we actually get to reclaim a little bit of our space and time.
Yeah, and I do like that parks are a really important part of Montreal culture. I actually really do appreciate it, and I appreciate that there's so many and they are close. Like, I actually, there's the part where I'm like, see, they're convenient. People use them. Yeah,
it's the park. I mean, what you do in summer is you just grab a picnic basket. Not even. Just grab a cloth bag because you got 50 of them.
Go and sit,
and go and sit in the fucking park. But taking these moments back to just look around. And I think bringing it back to convenience, like you just have to make the time as best you can to just connect with what's around you.
I agree. And I think if you
can get that a bit of sovereignty back.
A bit.
I think.
Yeah. I also think that if you are in a position of power, it's important to not demonize convenience.
Yeah. Because back to Wicked again, like, you don't need the ultimate Wicked to be good. Yeah. You can just be
good.
And that's, I think, a perfect note to close off our episode.
I agree.
Thank you for joining us on our squirrely edition of The Glorious Mess. We'll be back very soon with another new episode. And make sure you follow us at The Only Glorious Mess on Instagram. You have a new Instagram of your own, actually.
It's true. Carla is on Insta.
Look at that. At Carla is on Insta, at The Ethnic Anomaly. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time. Bye.